Hey BookTube, it's Charlie from Reader Turned Writer, and today I am sharing my TBR for the TBR readathon. I'm actually really excited because I've never done a readathon before, but Arena at Beautiful Pages is doing a readathon. I'll link her video down below so you can find out more information about it if you want to do it as well. And I heard someone else talking about it and I was like, yeah, I actually feel like I want to do that, and so I'm going to do my first readathon. I'm really excited because I want to do more readathons in the future, and this seems like a really good one to start with. So it's between May 13th and July 8th, which is one of the reasons I really like it, is because it'll give me plenty of time to get the books in and kind of give me time to get started on that. So I just thought I'd share my TBR here. Before it starts, because it starts on Sunday, I actually have a few books that I'm trying to finish up before the readathon actually starts. The first one is Jane Austen in Scarsdale. I've started reading it and I really like it so far, and I am definitely going to be able to finish it up because it's kind of a lighter, fluffy read, but it's actually really enjoyable. I'm also working my way through The School for Good and Evil, or The School of Good and Evil, on my phone, and so I want to finish that up as well. I'm like 70% of the way through it or something, so I'll be able to finish that one for sure. And this is another one that I really want to get to before. It's a Dotcom Secrets. It's a non-fiction self-help business type book, and it's just about growing your business online basically, and it's one that my husband got quite a while ago. We lent it to my brother-in-law and now we have it back, and it's been sitting on our shelf for a little while and I want to get to it so I can mark it off in my bullet journal. So on Sunday the readathon starts, and basically she wants you to read 12 books total. The first prompt is read a book from a series that you're in the middle of, and so this one I chose Alcatraz. The Alcatraz series. I read the first book and part of the second, and I think there's 5 books total, so I want to finish the second book and maybe read the third one with my husband. We're listening to it on Audible. Yeah, we might have to re-listen to some of the second book because we listened to the beginning a long time ago on a road trip with a friend. So yeah. And Alcatraz is by Sanderson. The second prompt is to read a book that you've owned for a while. For this one I actually chose Trixie Belden. This is one that I've been talking about with my sister-in-law, and I want to kind of reread it to see if she would like it. She is 14, and so I just want to try it out and see if she'll like it. It's been a while since I've read them, but they were a childhood favorite, and I read them again in college and actually really liked them, so I'm excited to read this one. It's also pretty short, so I should be able to get through it pretty fast. The third prompt is to read a book that you bought recently. For this one I chose Scythe by Neal Shusterman, and this is one that I am really looking forward to reading. My husband just finished it, so it's perfect timing. I can jump right into it and see if I like it as much as the rest of BookTube does. The fourth prompt is to read a short book, and for this one I chose The Heart That Truly Loves by Susan Evans McCloud. And this is a pretty short book. It is over 200 pages, it's 240 pages, but it just looks pretty short and the writing's pretty big on the pages. It's also just kind of the kind of book that I know that I'll get through very quickly and will not feel long, because that's just how all of the books that Susan Evans McCloud has written that I've read. The fifth prompt is to read a long book around 500 or more pages, and for this one I chose The Count of Monte Cristo. I've already started some of it, but I'm not even on page 500 of over 1100 pages, and so I'm just going to count the rest of the book as the 500 pages, because this is one that I would really like to finish around the time that it ends in July, the middle of July. I would like to have this finished before the baby comes. Prompt 6 is to read a book that you're excited for. So for this one I actually chose I Am Not a Serial Killer. This is one that my husband and I both want to read kind of together, but separately, and then talk about, and it's one that I have been excited to read ever since I heard the premise. So it's by Dan Wells, and it's basically about this sociopath who, there's a serial killer in his neighborhood, and the sociopath helps the police to catch the serial killer, but it's a fine line because the sociopath can't empathize with other people or have emotions, and so he doesn't want to become a serial killer, and he's worried that because he's getting in the mind of the serial killer to catch him, that he'll become a serial killer. And I have to keep saying serial killer and I'm butchering it, I'm sorry. Prompt 6 is to read a book out of your comfort zone, or just a genre that you don't usually read. So for this one I chose The Martian because it's a science fiction, and it's also supposed to be a very sciencey science fiction, but it's also one that I've heard a lot of really good things about, and I really want to get to it, so I thought now would be the perfect time. Prompt 8 is to read a book with a beautiful cover. For this one I chose A Treasury of Irish Fairy and Folktales. I got this one for Christmas and haven't even started it yet. I don't know if I'll actually be able to read all of it, but I do want to start it, and I just think this cover is gorgeous, and the book itself is gorgeous, and I'm hoping the content is really good as well, and maybe we'll see how far I get into it. This is the one book on my TBR this month, well, I guess besides the Count of Monte Cristo, that I'm not 100% sure I'll be able to get through. And then to finish off the 12 books, I just chose 3 more books that I will try and get to. This one is The Child Whisperer. It's a parenting book that is supposed to be really good. A friend lent it to me, so it's one that I've been wanting to get to once I finish up some of the books that I was currently reading, so I definitely want to get to it in the next couple of months. Then I want to read the first Ranger's Apprentice book, The Tournament at Gourlan by John Flanagan, and this is one I got from the library kind of on a whim, but I've heard a lot of really good things about it. I think it's kind of a middle grade fantasy, so I'm excited for that. And lastly, I want to read The Host by Stephanie Meyer. This is one that I picked up at a thrift shop. I've read all of the Twilight books, but I've never read The Host, so I'm excited to give it a try and see if I like it. That's my TBR for the TBR readathon. Wish me luck as I am trying to get through all these books and prepare for my baby that's due in August, so it'll come, the readathon will finish the beginning of middle-ish of July, and then the baby will come not too long after that, so hopefully I'll be able to get to all of these books even with the craziness of life and everything happening. Yeah, let me know if you're doing the TBR readathon and what books you're planning on reading, or if you know of any of these books and know if they're good or not. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.